Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat podcast, your one-stop shop for daily Miami Heat content. My name is Amir, pushing to 3,000 subscribers. So if you guys do enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So for today's episode, I want to talk about another potential buyout candidate. If this person gets bought out, I think the Miami Heat should look into potentially signing this player. And that player is Larry Nance Jr. So he is currently on the Atlanta Hawks. And we know the Atlanta Hawks, their season is going south right now. They are still somehow in the play-in race in the Eastern Conference, even though I think their record is like 23-28, and their record is sinking fast. They've won like one out of their last 11 games, and their up-and-coming young star player, Jalen Johnson, has been ruled out for the season with a shoulder injury. And so they are going to be going down in the standings very quick, like I mentioned. They kind of had a fire sale. So they traded DeAndre Hunter to the Cleveland Cavs. They also traded Bogdan Bogdanovic, the LA Clippers. So they are getting rid of their players. They are tanking right now for this year's drafts. They just had the number one or the first round pick this season. And so they got lucky in the lottery, even though they weren't record wise one of the bottom three teams in the NBA. But right now, they have no reason to win games at this point. So I'm sure Trae Young is going to be upset with this direction. But it strongly is suggesting that, they could buy out certain candidates, and Nance, who's 32 years old, might become one of those guys that they actually buy out. So he is on a expiring contract. I think he's making close to $11 million, and so it looks like they could try to get him off the books. And he is someone who's again, versatile defender. He's sustained his athleticism somehow over these years. He's only 32, so he's not like very old, but still, he's averaging 8.5 points per game. He's averaging one steal. He's averaging 4.3 rebounds, 1.6 assists. He's only playing 19 minutes per game, so he's not getting a ton of time. He's shooting 51% from the field, 45% from three on 3.3 attempts. So very good there. His three-point shooting has obviously improved over his career. So that is something that could help benefit the Miami Heat. So again, what he brings to the table, he's a solid NBA player, someone who can be in this rotation, someone who can come off the bench. He's 6'8". He's athletic. He has decent rim protection, but again, he has very good defensive instincts. He's a versatile defender, and he's also a versatile offensive player. But the fact is, he could switch on multiple positions. He's played power forward. He's played center. He's the type of player who thrives on hustle, high energy plays, being in the right place at the right time, and also being a good transition player, which could fit in with this Miami Heat system. So again, his strengths and why I think the Miami Heat should take a flyer on him for a veteran minimum is, again, his defense would immediately help the Miami Heat off the bench. Again, we know the Miami Heat, they love wing defenders, but we do need someone in that four slot off the bench because Kevin Love is just literally too old at this point and a liability defensively. He could still hit the three. He's still a good passer. He's a good rebounder, but he's not really going to play much. He's barely been in the rotation throughout this season. So we know the identity for this Miami Heat team is built on defense, and Nance could fit in based on that. Again, his athleticism, his energy would impact the Miami Heat's front court off the bench. Again, he could finish at the rim. Still high flying guy who is someone who shoots at a high percentage, who can get those easy shots, who could play in that dunker spot. Now that Khalil Ware, again, is starting, we have limited bigs off the bench, and he can come off the bench with Haywood Highsmith. I'm not sure where Davion Mitchell is going to fit in, if he's going to start immediately, but if you have Davion Mitchell coming in as your backup point guard with Haywood Highsmith, with Niko Jovic, with Larry Nance Jr., you have size, you have athleticism, you have guys who are playing good defense. Not Nico necessarily in terms of defense, but he is someone who can play with Haywood Highsmith and Davion Mitchell off the bench. And I think he could fit in well with this Miami Heat team. Again, he would be on a veterans minimum deal, so maybe like $3 million, which is really nothing. Who would we get off? in terms of like a roster spot. I don't know. People have said Alec Burks could be someone they drop. He's in and out of the rotation. Um, they are also saying maybe Kashad Johnson. I think he's on a standard contract. So you either get rid of Isaiah Stevens, put Kashad to a two-way, and then you give him that spot, perhaps. So you're getting rid of Isaiah Stevens, you're getting rid of either Kashad, or you're getting rid of maybe like an Alec Burks type, excuse me, type player. Um, Not sure if that's worth it, honestly, now that I'm thinking about this for Larry Nance versus other buyout candidates that could hypothetically be available. But based on the trajectory of what the Hawks are doing, it looks like he should be available and the Miami Heat should consider it. Obviously, in the comment sections, people always talk crap about these videos in terms of like the guys that we suggest for buyout candidates. They're buyout candidates for a reason. You're getting them for nothing. They're getting paid by their former team to buy out their contracts for a reason. And like a Middleton or a Simmons who's now going to be on the Clippers. These guys have 40 million, $30 million contracts. And of course they're not worth that. That's why they're getting bought out and you can sign them for a very cheap deal. So these guys aren't usually going to move the needle. You'll get lucky sometimes. Like Kevin Love has been pretty helpful, obviously, in his 2 seasons with the Miami Heat. I think this is his third season now. So you could get guys like a Kevin Love who can fit into your locker room, your system, become a leader, who can help you sparingly, but they don't typically move the needle. But this Miami Heat offense is so bad right now, and team in general is so inconsistent. We just need to inject good players in the lineup. So anyway, Larry Nance Jr. could be a fit. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.